Okay, we're going along the side of the Dunedin Causeway now, headed west out Hurricane Pass, but we're not going to go all the way out. We're looking for green 13, and then we will bear off to the port there and head over to Caladesi Island State Park. The Dunedin Causeway that you're seeing there also goes out to Honeymoon Island State Park, and that's a very beautiful place too. It's also where you catch the ferry to go over to Caladesi if you don't happen to have a boat. We're arriving a lot later than we had planned, so the light's not going to be all that great, but this is an interesting channel to get into. And by the way, you have to go this way. If you're coming up from the south, it's a long ways up to the bridge, but it's 2 foot of water just off to either side. So you do have to come in this way, or you're going to spend a lot of time doing things you may not want to do. And then, I don't know if you can see it that far away, but the Caladesi Island Ferry is off in the distance, and we're going to cut across this open body of water. It looks pretty benign. But the chart has a lot of 2 foot levels there, mostly near those spoil islands. So we're going to pretty much obey the rules and go on out and just connect directly from one to the other. We're approaching the entrance to Caladesi Island State Park near Dunedin, Florida. Marina's back in the mangroves. We'll be getting there shortly. It's a nice little journey that way. Kind of wind through the mangroves and feel like you're back 100 years, which is why it's fun to come here in the first place. Caladesi Island is just across St. Joseph's Sound from Dunedin, Florida. You can kind of see it off in the distance there. The water's way too shallow to try to take anything other than a kayak or maybe a canoe out here if you're real adventuresome.
Sailing from Tampa in the spring of 1888 on a shakedown cruise, Anna, a reconstructed 30-foot derelict, sailed past Egmont Light into the Gulf of Mexico, then broad-reached on a northerly heading up the coast. A spring storm sent Anna into the shelter of a small bayou on the southern end of Hog Island. Hog Island, sometimes known as Picnic Island, until a 1921 hurricane split the island, leaving Honeymoon on the north and Caladesi on the south. Both islands are now Florida state parks, along with the Anclote Key Preserve. The HideAway spent more hours watching than walking along the 2.5-mile trail that winds through Caladesi Island. The trail is easy, and every turn begs you to slow down and let the island's magic soothe your soul. Morning found Anna on her side and her captain ashore. Taken aback by the quiet beauty of the island, the captain abandoned his plans for South America and sailed Anna back to Tampa to file a homestead claim. Henry Scherer cleared some land, built a home, farmed vegetables, raised hogs, and caught fish to sell ashore in Dunedin, mostly by himself in an age when such things were considered normal. He became a major celebrity of his time because of how and where he chose to live. He married, raised a family, and that eventually came back to the island home and engaged in commercial fishing. Among Henry's discoveries on the island is an unusual pine tree that has grown in the shape of a heart. The tree is now over 120 years old and suffers from the common diseases of age and is considerably wider and larger. You can feel the past as you run your hand along its smooth bark, and if you're really quiet, you can listen to the past, ponder the present, and look forward to the future of this island as time melds in with the sun, the moon, and the tide. The longer you spend walking the trail and meandering along the beach, the more likely you are to lapse into history. Walking along the Caladesi Island Trail, I am humbled by how Henry faced the challenges of clearing and farming this sandy island without some of the basic necessities of life and the modern conveniences of his day, let alone of ours. Sometimes I can see Anna sailing back from Tampa, or perhaps finding her bayou for the very first time. And so can you, when you watch and listen carefully. The Caladesi Island Marina features 108 slips available at a very reasonable fee. The modern floating docks have 30-amp electrical and water hookups. There is no camping allowed on the island. There is a covered pavilion with a grill and picnic tables, also a concession and a restaurant, along with a playground for children. The playground for adults includes canoes and kayaks available for rent. You can bring a pet on a 6-foot leash, but leave the critter on board when you head to the beach. The catch is that sailboats drawing 3 feet or more will not be happy in the sparse water at low tide. The marina seems made for a shallow draft compact 23 drawing only 28 inches, or any other vessel of similar needs. While water is provided for your boat, there is no real showers to be found ashore. We had to make do with a fully exposed beach shower and foot wash. The longer you have been without a shower, the lower your concerns of modesty. The marina is best experienced in the winter due to the voracious no-see-ums. I swear you could see their fangs sparkling in the darkness, but then again a sailor does tend towards storytelling and colorful comments. The HideAways visited in late April, but were driven below decks to escape those fangs. Had our arrival been a month later, we would have been forced to leave for windier waters. You certainly can visit the island in the summer, but you will be bugged less if your passage has been booked on the ferry or you find an anchorage for the night.